to talk about intuition in relationship to absorbing information. And so as we've spoken about in previous sessions, intuition's job is to bridge the gap from essentially where you are to where you want to go, the outcome or the result that you want to create. And so often, it's like, okay, if we understand that that's what intuition's job is to sort of be that bridge from where we are to where we want to go, how do we get that bridge built, so to speak? And the unconscious self, or your brain, is always looking for, information in a couple ways. Like, what is important? So once we tell the mind and the brain what's important by way of being clear on the outcome we want to create, it goes to work. And the unconscious self is saying, where do I need to pull my information from to essentially put the puzzle together for the answers to occur as to how do I get to my destination? And information is a key, plays a key role in that puzzle being put together. And so if you've ever, put a puzzle together, like a big puzzle, we used to do these 1,000-piece puzzles when I was a kid, and they had these little tiny pieces, and you kind of put them all together, and then it was really frustrating to get to the end of the puzzle and realize you were missing like one piece, and then there's one little square that there's no puzzle, right? And it was so frustrating. You got 999 pieces put together in the puzzle, all to find out you're missing one piece. And so that's kind of how intuition works. Like, your brain and your unconscious self is trying to put the information together to produce the outcome that you want to fulfill for yourself, regardless of what place in life that has to do with. Maybe you want to create a vibrant relationship. Maybe you want, meet new people. Maybe you want, to engage in an ideal business partnership, or you want to hire an ideal employee, or you want an amazing friend group, or maybe you want to create health and vitality and achieve a new fitness level for yourself. Or maybe there's a new financial mark you want to hit, and a new amount of money you want to make, or a net worth mark you want to establish, or a new gross revenue mark you want to hit in your business. Or perhaps you're just looking to tune up your inner experience. Like, hey, how do I find peace? How do I maintain a sense of peace and joy and fulfillment in my life as my daily experience, regardless of what's going on around me? Like, no matter what the outcome is, our unconscious self needs the right amount of information to put the puzzle together, which then formulates your answer on how to go from where you are to whatever destination or outcome that you pick, whatever result you want. And information is such a key role. If we have the absence of information necessary to finish the equation of how to bridge the gap from where we are to where we want to go, well, then it's like I don't have the right material to put the puzzle together. I'm missing that puzzle piece. And so if I'm missing a key element of information to sort of build the bridge, well, then my unconscious self doesn't have everything it needs to put the puzzle together. And so your job is to give the unconscious self the right information so that it can, curate that information and then build the bridge, taking you from where you are to where you want to go. And so information is all around us all the time. Information is all around us all the time. And so the key is begin to highlight the right information with consistency over time. So as an example, if I want to, be in the best shape of my life and I want to optimize my health and vitality, I might consume health magazines. I might start reading books on nutrition and fitness. I might, watch documentaries, right, about the people in the world and where they're living the longest. Like, there's some of these documentaries now on Netflix that talk about this. I might expose myself, to different gym environments and watch what people are doing. And what we observe is oftentimes information. The things that we perceive in our world and reality is information. What information am I looking at when I'm on my cell phone, or I'm on my computer, or I'm scrolling the social environment in reality? Because that's all information. And so the key is, instead of just taking in information mindlessly, start to create a very intentional space in your life and your day where you are going to be very focused and deliberate about the information you're consuming relative to the space in life and the result that you're looking to create. And so maybe you take an hour a day. Like for myself, I take an hour, a minimum of an hour every single day at the beginning of my day where I have pre-selected information relative to outcomes and results that I want to create that I'm absorbing so that I'm learning different tools and tactics and strategies and philosophies or methods relative to what I'm looking to create as my next steps in my life. And so an hour a day, you're consuming information. So if you want to create that outcome, like with your body and your health and your vitality, then an hour a day, you're consuming some kind of information on health, on fitness, on nutrition, on exercise modalities, on understanding how the body works, and so on and so forth. And then as you absorb that information, whether it's reading a book, watching a podcast, listening to a podcast, watching a documentary, whatever it might be, like there's these different ways of absorbing information, but the key is to predetermine the information and start absorbing it. Because your unconscious self, when you give it the specific outcome, the destination you want to arrive at, while absorbing information, it's putting that puzzle together. It's taking all the different information and it's trying to connect the dots to take you from where you are to where you want to go. And one of the biggest reasons people aren't able to create the outcomes that they're aspiring to is because their intuition can't fully work to its maximum capacity because it's lacking the information required to sort of build that bridge, to put that puzzle together. It's kind of like if you wanted to paint a painting and you're missing one of the key primary colors, it's going to be hard to create the painting that you want if you're missing red, as an example, because it creates a lot of other colors, okay? And so all of a sudden, you're only working with 60 or 70% of your color spectrum because you're missing a primary color, right? And so kind of think of it in this way where it's like, man, if I don't have some results and outcomes in my life, it's because my intuition might need some more information in order to bridge that gap. If you're looking to increase your financial reality, your financial acuity, maybe you study investing in that hour. Maybe you look at different money management methods or techniques or strategies. Study individuals who've created great wealth, like a Warren Buffett or Ray Dalio, or individuals who have acquired and amassed great wealth and understand how they think about money and where would they direct you in terms of the information to absorb, because they freely give recommendations once you start listening to their interviews or read their autobiographies and so on and so forth, right? And so there's so many ways to absorb information. Again, those key information sources is the things we read, the things we listen to, the things we watch, and the things we observe. So think about, how can I expose myself an hour a day to reading something, watching something, listening to something, or observing something in my environment such that it relates to the outcome that I'm looking to create and fulfill, and be consistent with that hour a day until you get your outcome and result. Once you get your outcome result, immediately name the next outcome and result you'd like to strive to accomplish or attain or create, and then start the process again. And as long as you're always feeding the mind quality information, the library of information in your unconscious self is always growing, and that information never goes to waste. It's always a book on the unconscious self, so to speak, waiting to be grabbed and utilized depending on what you're looking to create relative to your life at that time. And so you're never going to waste time if you're absorbing quality information. It's always going to be supporting where you want to go. A little bit of a note, or kind of like we could call a disclaimer, is if we're absorbing bad information, that can muck up the works, right? That can put like on a bike, if you got a nice oil chain, your gear shift really easily on like a mountain bike or a road bike. And if you get a lot of dirt and debris in the chain, all of a sudden it can shift pretty poorly, it doesn't pedal as well, and the chain can start coming off those links, right? And you can start having some issues. And so if we're absorbing negative or contradictory information, or quote unquote bad information relative to what we want to create, sometimes that can actually gunk up the works, okay? So quality information and qualifying the source of information relative to the outcomes and results you're looking to create is so very, very important, because sometimes if we're giving the intuition or unconscious self unqualified information or wrong information or bad information or untrue information, all of a sudden it's trying to utilize this information as though it's valid and supportive, and it can actually, get in the way of what we're looking to create and slow our progress. And so just be aware as you're absorbing information, is this quality information relative to what I'm looking to create? Yes or no? And if it is, an hour a day, absorb that information and, see where it takes you. Enjoy, and we'll see you next time.